Video, we're going to be going over our piston door with an arrow system that will dispense arrows whenever someone goes through the piston door. And in the next video, we'll be adding more features to the piston door, such as the alarm system and the tripwire system. So let's get on right with the piston door. We're going to start off by digging a hole that's 2 blocks deep. The hole doesn't have to be too big, just has to be around the right size. We're going to cover up the hole later anyways, so if it's too small you can make it bigger. If it's too big you can always cover it up with blocks later on. I'm just going to make my hole around this big, maybe 4x4, 5x5 should be enough. What you're going to do next is you're going to place a 2x3 redstone on the floor like that. So 2 redstones at the top, 3 redstones down, and then you're going to put 1 redstone across like that, and a stone block here, and a stone block there. Then you're going to make the redstone dust travel up. Once you've done that, what we're going to do next is to place a redstone block on top of here. Or let's see in our actual redstone door. So you're going to place a redstone torch on the top. Redstone torch here, and a redstone torch there. Then you're going to place a block on top of the redstone torch, just like that. Same thing on this side, redstone block, a regular block on top of the redstone torch, and then we're just going to cover everything up with stone again. But get a pressure plate from your inventory. What I'm going to do is to put the pressure plate on top of these redstone dust, so that whenever I stand on the pressure plate, the redstone below becomes powered, which leads to the redstone dust powering this block over here, which then deactivates this redstone torch. Same thing on the other side. Place some stones to cover up for the floor, and then place redstone, and then place pressure plates on the other side as well. Put a redstone dust on top of the redstone torches, so that whenever I step on here, the redstone torch on the top becomes deactivated. What I want you guys to do now is to get some sticky piston. Oh, let me just put that right there. And then put your sticky piston right there. And on there. And on the third, all facing inwards like that. Same thing on this side as well. And notice that when I'm not standing on the pressure plate, these pistons are going to be extended outwards. It might be a little hard to place your piston. Make sure you're shifted when you're placing the pistons down. Just like that. Now notice, when I walk over the pressure plate, the pistons unfold. If I'm off of it, the pistons close. So these can be my doors. I'm going to place it in quartz. There we go, just like that. So now we have a functional redstone piston door, and I'm going to cover the floor with stone again. Let's give this a try. I walk over, and it closes before me. So how this door is functioning, to recap, is that when I'm on the pressure plate, the redstone below the pressure plate gets powered, which then powers the block under here. You see how that redstone dust over there is powered? And that redstone dust would unpower this block, which would then unpower this redstone torch, unpowering this redstone dust, which then would make the pistons extend inwards. So that's our piston door, and I'm just going to cover this up with some, maybe we should use quartz block to make it look nicer. What I'm going to do next is to hook this up to a redstone dispenser system. And I'm going to cover the top as well. And you guys will see why I'm doing this later on. So now I'm going to get some dispensers, which will dispense the arrows. And now I'm going to place the dispensers on one side of our door. Let's choose which side I want. Let's say that our enemy is going to walk in through this door, and then the arrows are going to be dispensed here. So I'm going to place my 6 dispensers. They should all be facing down. It might be a little tricky to get them facing down on your first try, just like that. 6 dispensers up there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to place redstone dust on top of these dispensers so that they can be powered. Okay. Now, I'm going to build a little contraption, just like over here, so that there can be a little cycle. A little burst of redstone on and off. How we're going to do this is, let me erase this redstone for you for now. Notice how this redstone torch is always going to be powered, but then this redstone torch powers this block, which then powers this redstone repeater, which then powers this block, which then powers the redstone dust under here. But then notice that the redstone dust powers this block so that it turns the redstone torch off, on, over and over again in a continuous loop. We're going to do that here. So I'm going to build one there. And I'm going to make like a T shape here. Just like that. One block of redstone dust. And a redstone repeater facing that way. And a redstone torch here. So now you should be able to see that this is going flicking on and off. Now go through the redstone door to make sure there aren't any problems with the pistons, and make sure the power supply to the pistons aren't disturbed. When you're done checking that, we're going to make an AND loop now. We're going to take power from the redstone torch, and we're going to hook it up to this little system, to this AND loop. Now, when do we want our dispensers to dispense arrows when someone stepped on the pressure plate, and when this is flicking on and off and on. Why do we have an AND here? Well, that's because we need the door to be put on, and this flickering thing allows our dispensers to be on off over and over again. Let me show you an example. So I'm going to get a wooden pressure plate instead of stone pressure plate. You guys don't have to follow this along. Oak pressure plate. But I just want to show you how it works. And I'm going to replace this with oak pressure plates instead. And I'm going to drop an object here. Notice that this block here is being unpowered. Oh, it might be because the signal is too weak. There we go, like that. And then I'll connect this right up. And then the redstone dust on top of here is flickering on and on, which means that the arrows will be continuously dispensing. So let's do something similar to that. So to the left of the dispensers, I'm going to have this AND loop. Let's do that over here as well. So going back to our thing, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and to make an AND loop, we need something like that. So an L shape. We needed a redstone torch here, 2 redstone torches on the top, redstone dust in the middle, and now we need these 2 redstone torches to be powered or powered off. So I'm going to link this piece of redstone dust over to the other side. Okay, so I'm going to connect this all up with redstone dust. But this might be too long, so just keep that in mind. Oh, I guess not. So the length looks fine, but if you're having trouble with the connection, you can always put a repeater here to extend the length of the redstone signal. Remember, repeaters make the redstone dust signal stronger. Now, coming from under here, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to, oh, I'm not too sure if it'll work, but let me try this. Oh, seems to be working fine. Or actually, yeah, seems to be working fine. And then I'm going to drag this redstone dust signal all the way up here. Your redstone dust can take different forms. It doesn't have to look exactly like mine. Drag the signal all the way up and into the redstone torch like that. Okay. So now I'm going to go under here. There we go. And it looks like it's working. So I'm going to need to place a redstone repeater like that. But we don't want this alarm thing flicking just yet. So I'm going to get a lever to have an on and off system. And I'm going to place the lever right around here. There you go. So now it's off. Oops, I shouldn't have placed the lever there. Just like that. And now when I do want to turn it on, I just flick this. And now it's on. Let's take a look at what this is doing over here. Oh, sorry. Okay. We have a little problem here. I was wondering why it was not functioning properly. Is that we need a not statement here. Remember, this is being powered on when the pistons are powered on, but we want it to be powered on when the pistons are powered off. So I'm just going to use a simple not statement, as we've learned before from our previous videos, just like that. And then we're going to hook this signal up there. My redstone connection might be looking a little messy, but that's okay. Just like that. Now let's see this thing in action. If I go through here, let me use our wooden pressure plate trick again. Oak pressure plate, and I'm going to replace the bottom with oak pressure plates. And when I drop an object here, you can see that this is being powered on and off and on and off. So that's part 2 of your homework. And now you can move on to part 3, where we'll be building the alarm system. And I'll show you that right now in this video. And the alarm system looks a bit more complex, just like this.